have been out for a few days, people, no denying that. No way to pretend that didn't happen. I do apologize. There have been some changes to my working schedule, so I had a few things that I needed to take care of, and it tends to be a little tricky when you're trying to balance work and YouTube and all of this stuff, so it's a little bit tricky. I wanted to get what I had to get finished as soon as possible so I could get back to work and doing this stuff. I don't really consider this work. I consider this more something I do because I actually enjoy it. So apologies for the little bit of the delay. It might happen once or twice again. I don't think it'll be for as long a period as this. Probably just 1 or 2 days. I'm still trying to readjust things due to my new working schedule. But regardless of it, I wanted to do this video as a tribute, even though it is something that has happened that's really, really sad, and it's a really big loss to the manga, anime, and creative world on the whole. Akira Toriyama, the creator, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. We don't talk about Dragon Ball GT, but still has passed away at the age of 68. It's a tragic, tragic loss, but this is a man whose work has had an enormous influence on everybody. Everybody. I myself can personally say what an enormous impact Dragon Ball has had on my life, because I remember watching Toonami to see Dragon Ball, like when it would show on afternoons. Come on, about the whole Toonami block would start about 3, so it would be from about 3 to 6 in the evening, and you would get a bunch of different anime and stuff, and Dragon Ball Z was always there. I mean, I'm talking about like back when it really first started with Toonami, and that was when he was getting all the different Dragon Ball stuff and thing was going on. I remember binge watching Dragon Ball, the whole thing with young Goku, then up to the tournament saga, then the whole thing when he's older, all of that, sit and watch, and the enormous impact it had, because even though Goku was dealing with all these things, he was also such a chipper, happy person. And that was really inspiring, because no matter what you were going through in your life, you could look at that and it was escapism. You could lose yourself in it for a couple hours every day and just enjoy something. And that was priceless. That was really, really priceless. So there are a few articles touching on the man, the legend, Akira Toriyama. I'm just going to read through some of them, give a little brief background on his work and his life and whatnot. And I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about the impact that this man has had. Start off with bounding into comics. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama passes away at age 68 from reported acute subdural hematoma. So young as 68, so young. In a moment that truly no fan ever really fathomed would come, famed Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama has passed on to the other world. This is what they put here. This was the official release. Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma. He was aged 68. It's our deepest regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral services were held with his family and very few relatives following his wishes for tranquility. We respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolences, gifts, visitings, offerings, and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Right, future plans for commemorative gathering is not decided. We will let you know when it's confirmed. We deeply thank you for your understanding and support as always. This came out he died on March 1st and this came out on March 8th. So yeah, it's shocking as it may be, but it is true. Really, really shocking. Let's get a little thing of his Born in Nagoya, Aichi, Japan in 1955, Toriyama's interest in manga was first sparked, according to the mangaka himself, by Osamu Tezuka's seminal Astro Boy. And though he would spend much of his childhood doodling away, his high school years would see his artistic ambitions take a backseat to his burgeoning social life. When the time finally came to graduate rather than go on to college, Toriyama chose to enter the workforce. Yeah, so he went in there, followed it wasn't for him. Then when he needed to find some cash to support himself, he saw that there was an ongoing thing in a manga for new subscriptions. He didn't meet the deadline for that one, but then he did end up meeting one for Shonen Jump. His first work that he put in was rejected because it was kind of like a parody of Star Wars, but he was encouraged to continue to work. And eventually, he came up with Dr. Slump. And then, from there it was Dragon Ball, On Island, you name it. He did it. A lot of work was done. Now, when it came to Dr. Slump, they wanted him. He was originally planning for it to just run for a maximum of 6 months, but they told him that, since it was so popular, told him that the only way he could stop it if he found something better, so it ended up running for a lot longer. Then he went on to, the purple-haired android antagonist, Arale, and all of that. Around for 4 years and 236 chapters. Then, after that, he ended up going on to Dragon Ball, and that was, as the bards would say, history. Dragon Ball has become his most popular manga ever. All these things with Son Goku and stuff, but he didn't just stick with just manga alone. He also went into video games. Found the time to lend the services again to the nudging of Toriyama to a then upcoming RPG title known as Dragon Quest. Yeah, so he did a lot of work, a lot of things. Right, went on to do a lot more work and all of this stuff. Of course, all good things must come to an end after all. And after 11 years of making readers wish they could shoot energy from their hands, Toriyama eventually brought Dragon Ball to a close in 1985. His final page seeing Goku and the reincarnated form of Majin Buu fly off into the sunset towards some unknown horizon. But then came Dragon Ball Evolution, and it's kind of funny how Dragon Ball Evolution, being as bad as it is, he saw the movie and thought, my God, this was so bad. I cannot have anybody associate this with anything I've done. So he came back, did work with the film work on Dragon Ball Z, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F. Then he went on to work again with the with Dragon Ball Super. So, as bad as this was, it actually brought the man back. Now, a lot of people will say that when you talk about the big three in regards to manga, we always talk about Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto, but they always say, how come you never talk about Dragon Ball? And I've always been like, why would you talk about Dragon Ball in that? Dragon Ball is like the badass grandfather of everything. That's the thing about it. I mean, literally, Dragon Ball has established, has been the inspiration for so many things. Like literally so many things. Right, while Dragon Ball is his most famous creation, Akira Toriyama also created several other acclaimed manga like Dr. Slump, Sandland, even to several popular video games like Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger. He has arguably one of the most instantly recognizable and iconic art styles on the planet. Even if you are someone who does not watch anime, there's a high chance you have seen Dragon Ball characters and Toriyama's artwork at one point or another. It really is something fascinating to see, and it's hard. It's really hard to know that this happened. I mean, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh died last year, and now you're getting the creator of Dragon Ball has passed on, and it's something that's gonna hurt a lot of people, especially hurting me, because like I said, the impact that Dragon Ball has had on my life, the impact that this man's creation has had, but what we learn and what we take from it is so important, so very important, and there's no denying that what this man has accomplished, these iconic characters here, are something that nobody could ever pretend did not have an impact on literally everything. If you're a fan of Naruto, you could thank Dragon Ball Z for that. If you're a fan of if you're a fan of Bleach, you could thank Dragon Ball for that. If you're a fan of One Piece, you could thank Dragon Ball for that. If you're literally a fan of any kind of manga that is going on today, manga, anime, all these sort of things, you can be certain to thank Dragon Ball because it had some influence on it. That is how iconic this is. This man's work will live in infamy, will continue to be an inspiration to us all. And I could go on and on and on about all this stuff, that the things that Akira Toriyama and his work has meant to so many. I know a lot of people who got into anime and manga because of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, when you think about Dragon Ball and you think about all the things that happened, and then you think about Dragon Ball Z, a lot of people still consider Goku's battle against Frieza to be one of the most iconic battles ever. It really was absolutely fascinating. It is heartbreaking to know that this man has passed on, but it's also so inspiring to know that his work will live forever. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. And thank you so much for all that you have done. Not just the inspiration that you've had on my life, but on so many others. And I'm not gonna sit here and cry. I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is something that we shouldn't be sad about, but we should also celebrate the man's work and know that there will always be more stories to tell, one way or another. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.